The ban on plastic materials, scheduled to take effect on November 1, has been met with sharp criticism from sellers and users of the product, even before the ban is implemented. The use of polythene bags and other plastic materials that fall in the category has been part of the Ghanaian society for a very long time. Well, 3 months before the implementation, John users Latif Idris has been out and about and reports many are not in favor of the pending ban.
Has placed a ban on plastic materials with less than 20 microns. Now, the ban takes effect on November 1, and it affects materials such as polythene that we used to sell groceries and other food items on the market. Watch sellers made a transition from using polythene bags to using the leaves, as it were, in the past. Here at popular watch joint, we want to find out from both buyers and the seller as well as to why the transition, and did they see this coming?
The ban will really disturb us because some people prefer the leaf and others prefer the plastic, so they can't ban it just like that.
With the rubber bags, people don't really know how to recycle and stuff. They throw it anyway, so it's making the gutters and everything choke and stuff, causing natural disasters and other stuff. But with the paper bags, when it gets to water, sometimes you can't so soft, then maybe it disperses away then. Or sometimes you leave it on the floor. It becomes so easily to burn out.
Those who feel the pinch the most when this ban is finally rolled out are the manufacturers and the sellers. What do they make of this pending ban?
I don't think it's going to help because it's creation of job, and as you ban it, how am I going to get my daily bread? The producer too is also going to lose. So I don't think it's going to help.
It's very difficult because looking at things, if I have to serve my stew, you have to pour it in this rubber because you can't put this in a leaf or any other thing which can soak the oil. So eventually they can't carry it away, which you saw some of them or end up maybe, let's say, you can't take it very far. Yeah.
And so are you making any provisions for them? I mean,
yes, it's either some, we just have to find a new way. Most of them would consume it here or bring their own bowls from the house which can be served if they have to take it far. Because looking at things, we don't have any other subsidiary products which can take all the stuffs.
So with porridge sellers or cocoa sellers, as we want to call them in our local settings, are we going to see the era where we use calabash?
A calabash is good. It's old, olden time. It's calabash we use. But this time, rubber. And the rubber too is making the place dirty. So if they go back to calabash, that's good.
And so if your customer comes and would like to take the porridge away, then how would you package it?
I don't know, unless they bring their own cup or flask.
If they do not bring their own cups and flasks, how would you...
And drink it. They will sit here and take it.
The person wants to take it away, how would you package it for him or her?
No, he cannot take calabash away. So if you like, you will sit here and take the cocoa and then go away.
Or something.
Well, meanwhile, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology says it will recruit about 2,000 graduates from tertiary institutions. The Minister, Mahama Yarga, says these graduates from mostly polytechnics will be recruited within the next 3 months. They will be expected to enforce the ban.
We want to recruit 2,000 enforcement officers. The 2,000 enforcement officers divided by 26 million will be 1 to 12,000 persons. That is still quite a large number, but let's start from there. And so they will also be distributed to the districts per capita. So depending on the population of districts, you will recruit the corresponding number of enforcement officers who will be given extensive training on the environmental regulations, the standards and everything, so that they will then be empowered to enforce the standards. So if there are supposed to be 1,000 waste bins in this district, they have to ensure that if you combine the effort of the district assembly and the effort of the homeowners in the district and shop owners in the district and corporate entities in the district, if you count, you will get that 1,000 waste bins.
And what will be the criteria for selecting these 2,000 persons?
We will go through public advertisements, they will apply, and then the regional EPA officers. I've already given the directives to the EPA, so the EPA is working on it. The regional EPA officers will be responsible for the recruitment, but we'll make sure that we recruit mostly polytechnic students, graduates, who especially have qualifications in the areas of the sciences, because that's how we can easily teach them environmental science and everything. We may admit some SS graduates, depending on if they're able to pass certain aptitude tests and etc. But I'm giving them timelines. Within 3 months, I expect to see that all these 2,000 enforcement officers, and I've had discussions with colleagues at the Ministry of Youth and Labor, Minister for Labor Relations, Manpower and Labor Relations, Employment and Labor Relations, and then also National Youth Employment. We hope that at the initial stages they will absorb the remuneration of these 2,000 people. But going forward, we intend to pay them from the levies and penalties that they are able to impose on people who are breaching environmental standards. If you are conversant with the polluter pays principle, we want to really activate the polluter pays principle so that if you pollute the environment, you pay for your pollution.
It's day 2 of the strike declared by the Ghana Medical Association, and its effect across the country has deepened as more regions have joined. On the first day of the strike, only the Greater Accra and the Ashanti regions had been officially informed of the action. Now, however, the Ghana Medical Association has sent official memos to public hospitals across the country urging their members to leave consulting rooms in accordance with the nationwide strike that began Thursday. We've been interacting with Ivy Setsoji from the Volta region, where we learned one of the doctors she spoke to indicated he cannot watch his parents die because of his pocket, but there were others who thought who, though support the strike, were still attending to emergency cases. Erastus Asare Donko in Ashanti region also reported that patients who would have normally reported at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital did not do so because they did not have extra money. And establish contact with other regional correspondents and bring you up to details of what's happening on the ground with regards to the strike by the medical doctors. An Accra Fast Track High Court has struck out an application filed by 6 supporters of the New Patriotic Party seeking an injunction on the Korle Klottey constituency parliamentary primaries. The 6 had gone to the court to, among others, declare Lee Noy Norte unfit to contest the crucial polls because they claim he presented a fake certificate to the vetting committee of the party. The plaintiffs are Juliana Bryant, George Atto Williams, Mary Krentel, Ebenezer Akwa, Michael Nana Nkansa and Edward Kwanzaa. Thursday's ruling has paved way for the party to hold the primaries in the constituency. Meanwhile, lawyer for the NPP, Dennis Ejay Jumo, the second defendant, told Joy News he believes justice has been served, adding that the court took the right decision. To other stories, butchers in the recent Bimbela town where violence took place have vowed to honor a government directive that they sign a bond of good behavior before they will be allowed to reuse the abattoir. The abattoir has just been opened after weeks of closure following recent disturbances there. 13 people lost their lives when a section of the butchers clashed with the traditional rulers there for failing to respect an age-old tradition of sending meat to the regent. On Tuesday, the Deputy Interior Minister James Agalga led a government delegation to the troubled town to broker peace. Mr. Agalga issued these directives after meeting with the factions in the conflict area.
We are friendly people, we are butchers, and then we want peace, and then it's when there is peace that our business can thrive. So we are never looking for troubles. We are only taking our stand clear to Ghanaians to understand our stand. The simple question I want to ask that, what about those who are operating big stores? Are they paying anything to the regent?
When the delegation came there, the option you had, I mean your group, was that respect the regents there, sign the bond, and then use the abattoir. The fact that you're not ready to sign the bond means that you're not going to use the abattoir.
That is it. And they are depriving us from using it because of customer obligation. It is that we don't want to do it. They have imposed it on us. There was no nothing like dialogue for us to look at it and see and then deliberate on it. Then we all agree with certain terms. But it was full imposition.
The program is News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. I'm Francisca Kakra-Forson. Let's take a quick break right now. We'll be back with more stories. Thanks for staying with us on News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. Now, Chief Policy Analyst at the Ghana Institute for Public Policy Options, Dr. Charles Rekubrobe, has sued the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and 3 other bodies over the new TV license fees. The 3 other bodies are the National Media Commission, the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, and the Attorney General. He's, among other things, seeking to restrain the state broadcaster from starting with the collection of TV license on August 1st. Manasseh Azuri Awene gave us details earlier.
If you listen to Dr. Rekubrobe over the period when this issue of TV license came out, he has been consistent with the fact that certain bodies or institutions that have been mentioned as beneficiaries of this license fees should not be there, and his suit basically goes on to say that exclude these people from the distribution, exclude them from the sharing, and until those issues are resolved, he wants the court to hold on. And we are told part of it will go to GIBA, that's the Independent Broadcasters Association, part of it will go to the Media Commission, the Media Fund, and then the Film Fund. And he is saying that 72 go to GBC, and then 3% will also go to GBC, and that will take care of the operational cost. But the rest will be shared among these bodies and institutions that I have mentioned. And what Dr. Rekubrobe is saying is that if you look at the laws of the land or the laws enabling the GBC to go for these fees, these institutions have not been mentioned. And so when you include them, it is illegal and it has not got any legal basis. So he wants that interpretation done, and until that is done, you know, the collection was supposed to start this Saturday.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah, 1st of
August.
But he wants the court to put an injunction on it until these issues are addressed.
Well, Manasseh Azuri Awene has also been speaking to Egbert Fable, who is lawyer for Dr. Rekubrobe.
One of the reliefs that Dr. Rekubrobe is seeking is an order of perpetual injunction restraining GBC from collecting the TV license fees from the 1st day of August 2015 or any day thereafter, as far as the sharing of the sharing formula that has been put out is concerned, which means that it is right. I mean, as you say, that when a matter has been put before a court, until the court determines it, if you go ahead, as in GBC goes ahead and starts collecting the TV license fee, it means it has determined the matter. And if that happens, GBC will be in contempt of court and will not hesitate to bring an application for contempt against GBC and its officials.
So what this means is that as it stands now, if GBC is to go by the law, it should not start taking the TV license fees by tomorrow.
It cannot start collecting from tomorrow. It has to allow the High Court to determine the matter before it can. If it is mandated to, it can start collecting.
Has GBC been served the writ?
Yes, GBC was served yesterday. The National Media Commission was also served yesterday, and then the Attorney General has also been served yesterday. It is, I think that the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association will be served today. Only ones who were not served yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
I thank you too.
Well, the state broadcaster has also confirmed receiving the writ. We spoke to Major Don Chebe.
One of the reliefs that Dr. Reprobe is seeking is an order of perpetual injunction restraining GBC from collecting the TV license fees from the first day of August 2015 or any day thereafter, as far as the sharing of the
Apologies there, we do not have that right clip. We'll get some playback to you later, but we'll move on right now. The erratic power outages the country has had to endure for the last 3 years is set to get worse for residents in parts of Accra as a result of an ongoing project to retool electricity substations. The Ghana Grid Company Limited says the substation's reliability enhancement project, currently focused at the Achimota substation, will result in unscheduled power outages beyond the normal rationing program managed by the Electricity Company of Ghana. Residents in areas served by the Achimota substation have in the last few weeks been experiencing the outages, but Gridco Chief Executive William Amuna says residents will see an intensification.
The substation's reliability enhancement project involves the replacement of electricity transmission equipment which have been in use, in some instances for as long as half a century. It will see the reconfiguration of some of the substations, installation of additional transformers, replacement of switch gears, construction and expansion of control rooms. The works at the Achimota substation will affect communities in the eastern half of Accra, including the Central Business District, cantonments, Usu, Ridge and Bema Camp. It comes at a time the public is enduring a crippling energy crisis, but the Gridco Chief Executive explains it could be more costly if the retooling is not done now.
So this is no new thing at all. I mean, it is just that we know that we are at the peak of the operations, and who knows, I mean, if anything happens, we would have to let customers know that anything could happen at any time. And that is why we have created that bay where we are going to add more capacity to. You could even touch a cable, assuming it's loose because it's old, you could cause a trip of the station. Now, this is not the first time we're giving such an announcement. I mean, it's interesting that this time it's raising a lot of eyebrows, but we have constantly done that. I mean, this is not the first time we are telling people that we are doing this works here in Achimota. Okay? So we are saying this, and what he was just mentioning is not like a very frequent thing. Possibly in about 3-4 months, you could have one occurrence. I mean, it is not something that's going to be that frequent that would take off people.
Gridco is meanwhile also constructing a new substation on the Graphic Road to serve the Central Business District of Accra and ease the load on the Achimota substation.
Accra has overgrown this substation. We are trying to ensure that every part of Accra has reliable supply, and the government contacted the Japanese government for support, and they are supporting the construction of a substation at the Graphic Road, Graphic area that would ensure power supply to the Graphic Central Business District. Now, that is not the only thing. Mind you, we are constructing a line all the way from Abuazi to Bolgatanga. That is ongoing. And we are constructing new substations, expansion to Kumasi as part of that, Kintampo, Tamale, and then we are building a whole new substation at Bolgatanga. That is being supported by Agence France, the World Bank, EIB, and a host of lenders.
So has that? The €40 million project is expected to be completed before the end of the year. Matilda Pamaga for Joy News, Accra.
The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has ordered Ghana Grid Company, Gridco, to defer its planned replacement exercise. Gridco made the announcement last Tuesday that the major replacement and maintenance exercise is expected to end by July next year. My colleague Emefa Etiamwa Eli has been reading the statement earlier and shared details. PRC. Emefa, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you.
The PRC has given Gridco an order to follow some directives. What are those directives?
Yeah, essentially, Gridco, PRC is asking Gridco to defer the intended replacement of the obsolete machines. You remember earlier this week, Gridco made a public announcement that it was going to carry out some replacements on its machines, but according to the PRC, the Gridco did not go through the proper channels before coming out with this announcement. So they are asking Gridco to defer the replacements process, and then they should make sure that before they do that, they should make sure that they have informed the PURC about their plan on their schedule as to when the replacement is going to start, when they will end, and they must also do proper diligence in informing the public on alternative arrangements made for them so that the already crisis we are facing, the effects would be minimal on them. And then they must also make sure that stakeholders involved in the process are duly informed before they carry out this planned replacement.
So you talk about staying with the issues of power. The Electricity Company of Ghana will embark on a nationwide disconnection exercise Saturday, 1st August. The special exercise is to curb illegal connections and recoup revenue. At a news conference to announce the intention, Managing Director of ECG indicated out of 2.9 million customers, 20% are illegally connected using electricity for free.
This nationwide exercise started at Dodowa, where the company found that of the 591 customers visited, 119 are connected illegally. According to the Managing Director of the Electricity Company of Ghana, Robert Dramina, the exercise is mainly to save revenue for the company.
Without adequate financial resources, ECG cannot invest in the needed capital projects to deliver quality service to the good of the people of Ghana. It is hoped that the exercise will lead to reduction in system losses, improve power sales, and increase revenue collection during this load management period. This exercise has been designed to check the integrity of all meters and the integrity of our customer service connection. At least if you take the population of our customers, based on this figure, we can say that about 20% are illegally connected.
The mass disconnection exercise will be carried out in a 24-hour daily schedule with support from security agencies and the Revenue Protection Unit of ECG.
Any network which does not meet ECG's specification or ECG standard will be rid of. We will take them off because they are seen to be illegalities in our system. We are undertaking this exercise with the support of the security agencies, that our teams will have the military and the police backing them to ensure that we undertake this exercise without fear or favor.
Any institution or person found culpable will be prosecuted.
All culprits who will be arrested will be surcharged with the total cost of the stolen energy, and additionally, they will be prosecuted at the utility cost. The names of such persons will be published in the various print and electronic media to shame them.
The power supplier is urging the public to report any illegality to the company for a whistleblowers package. Emmanuel reports for Joy News.
School heads of the Opokuwari and Barikesi senior high schools in the Ashanti region have been asked to proceed on compulsory retirement. This follows allegation of age manipulation brought against the two. Acting PRO of GES, Reverend Jonathan Betty, says the decision was arrived at after careful investigations.
School heads are facing the issue. The first one is Mr. SM Opon Mensah, the headmaster of Opokuwari Senior High School, Kumasi. He's been served with a compulsory retirement letter. And then the other one is Emmanuel Asiedu, also from Barikesi Senior High Technical School, Barikesi. Management has concluded investigations into allegations of manipulation of your date of birth. After careful evaluation and review of the information gathered in the course of the investigations, management has directed that you should retire compulsorily on 7th May 2015 from the service. That was for Mr. Emmanuel Asiedu. The other one, which is for Mr. Opon Mensah, It's also compulsory retirement, and after careful look into issues over the controversy of your age and date of birth, after exhaustive investigations and a careful evaluation of the matter, management has therefore, in consultation with Ghana Education Service Council, is of the view that your original date of birth on the record of Ghana Education Service, the 13th of July, 1954, should stand.
Ex-soldiers who picketed at Parliament over unpaid allowances should receive an answer to their grievances in a month. This is because the Military High Command has requested for more time to gather more information on the compensation for the veterans. Parliament's Defence and Interior Committee has met with the Defence Minister and Chief of Defence Staff in a bid to resolve the matter. Fritz Barfor is chairman of the Parliamentary Committee.
Yesterday, when we were told that the ex-servicemen were here, I met with them on the instructions from the Speaker. I took the petition, and it became a document for us to also look at when we were engaging the Minister and the military hierarchy. So yesterday we did, and yes, there are certain concerns, and the concerns that have been raised have got to be addressed. But unfortunately, it needs very detailed documentation. We have to peruse documentation, so the request was that we be given some time for the military to come up with the right kind of documentation to back up what the situation is, so that we can see the concerns. They are interrogating it themselves and investigating it themselves. So we asked for 14 days for the military, but I think that in 21 days we should have everything ready. We're writing to the group that brought their petition to tell them that they should be patient, because we want closure on it. I don't want something that is open-ended. And so we want closure, so that when we get it, we'll call them, and then we'll discuss the documentation that we have, and then we'll compare notes, and then I hopefully we'll come to a solution.
It's interesting that you talk about the fact that the military needs to get some documentation. Did they give you any impression that this issue has not come to their attention? No,
it has come to their attention. They are very aware of it, but they say that in order to come up with the solution and to come up with their take on it, all right, they have to refer to a lot of documentation. You know, with the military, as soon as you're enlisted, they start documenting you. And so it may go back, if you've been in the service for 25 years, they've got to go back to 25 years of your service, and all the papers that are relevant to the case have got to be looked after.
Right now, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. And that's it for News Today on Joy News on Multi TV. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Francisca Kakra Forson. Thanks for watching.